D1 Cruz here, your life applications officer. Must do this. Now, you know that I haven't bothered none of you atheists that come to my channel. I haven't done any atheist videos in a while, right? You know that. I've been talking about politics and Donald Trump, black issues, LGBTQ, crazy transgender monster, crypt, spooky movies and stories, and you know, that kind of stuff. I've not said anything about atheism, because you know what, those videos that I did like years ago, back in 2013 and 2015, of me kicking atheists in the butt, you know, parts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. Can't take atheists seriously anymore. Part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and all that stuff. I might take half them videos down. Because one thing I realize that the apologists don't realize. First of all, God did not call anybody to be an apologist to those that have deaf ears, that already have let you know to your face that they have deaf ears. Nothing you say is going to tell them anything that they don't already know. Nothing you say is going to compel them to come to Christ, okay? And they mock you like they did Jesus. Did Jesus try to win those that mocked him? He defended himself. That was it. He was doing the Donald Trump thing. He defended himself. He did not sit there and say, well, it says in the scroll, it says in the law of Moses. No, he spoke to his disciples like that. He spoke to those that came to him to join him like that. But he did not speak to the people of wickedness, okay, like he could persuade them and talk them out of being wicked. Alright, like right here. Do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Okay? This is why some people believe that they're Calvinists, because they believe that we're not supposed to waste all this time worrying about everybody getting saved. Because if they really need to be saved, or they understand their need for God, and they're ready to accept God, God has already drawn them, and they will come to us, or they will cross lines with us, and it will happen. Just by the fact that they want it to happen so bad. But I'm not a Calvinist, so I don't take that depiction of it. My depiction is a little bit slightly different. I'm not a Calvinist, but you know, I do believe that it's God that saves people, not us. And atheists are atheists because of their disrespect for God. The only reason why they disrespect us is because we choose to follow a righteous and living God. But the atheists have no problem with us, except for the fact that we serve God, which makes us a better group of people than your atheists, your liberals, your LGBTQ, your abortionists, you know, your Democrats, you know, we're just better people. And this is what it's called to have life more abundantly. If I can't be honest and say, well, we're better people. Christ has made me better than what I used to be. See, I used to be like you. I used to be, you know, to the point to where I told God, because I felt like God was looking over my shoulder, I guess, I told God, I denounce my faith. Stop following me around. I really believed that God was following me around and looking over my shoulder. So I told him, stop following me around. Stop getting in my business, God. Stay out of my business. Okay, I'm out here. I'm going out here and get mine. And you probably don't like that, so give me some space. And immediately, God took me seriously. Because I felt like there was nothing following me around no more. I was in this all by myself. And there was so much fear in my life. Let me read on. Do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship has righteousness with lawlessness? And what communion has light with darkness? We're better. We don't have, not because we have done anything special other than accept Jesus Christ as our personal Savior and the righteous ticket that goes with that. But, or should I say the calling of righteousness that goes with that. But, we're better because we choose to be better. We're not better because we're born from better parents or we're born from non-human parents. We're better because we choose to be better. We are better. A lot of Christians will correct me for saying this, but it's true. We are better people. We don't have to argue with Gentiles. We don't have to argue with the heathen. We argue and we contend for the faith. We contend for the faith of the people in our own family that get it wrong. That's contending for the faith. The contending for the faith ain't me going out there and some dude all of a sudden he wants to hit on my wife. Okay? This is my wife. So you going to sit there and fight me over my wife? You going to try to come between me and my wife in a public place? The fight is not going to be fair. And that's where these arguments are stupid. Because the fight is not going to be fair. You're coming at me like these atheists do. You're coming at me about my wife. Just like these atheists are coming at me about my God. Ain't nobody told you you got to do anything. When you gonna get that in your head, atheist? This is what you use to try to corner us and practice some epistemology garbage on us. Okay, you trying to evangelize us the other direction. Look, when you going to get in your thick skull? You either want this or you don't. If you don't, ain't nobody losing sleep over it. Sure, I love you. Sure, I care about you. Sure, I'm praying for you. That's it. It's not my job to argue with you. Y'all tell us stuff like, oh, well, you know, a Christian is supposed to contend for the faith. He's supposed to, a good argument is everything. No, it's not. A good argument is Black Lives Matter trying to argue with a Republican, which is a stupid argument. You lost. You lost. There ain't no righteous reason for you to be out there ambushing cops, beating up on your own people as well as Asians and white people and everybody else, and then calling it Black Lives Matter. And then you know, like atheists try to be good at what they do and say. They try to, like, you know, Skylar Fiction was trying to do tonight. I don't know how he got my playlist, but I clicked on it and I'm thinking this guy's a Christian. He's an atheist. I'm like, okay, let's check this out. But that's not going to be a fair fight either. Okay, you out here doing crime, but you want to get mad when the cops. You want to march and call it racism when the cops take down a man who claimed to be a victim of racism, but he's racist towards other people. Asians, whites, cops, even black people. He ain't gonna let nobody correct him about anything. Okay? He lost. He deserves to get tasered, shot, beat over the head with a club, whatever, and put in prison. Okay? He lost. I'm not gonna argue with this idiot. Okay? Now, sure, you know, Do I feel sorry for George Floyd? Not really. I feel sorry for his family because they lost their loved one, their brother, their son. That was somebody's brother. That was somebody's son. Okay? But that's where it ends. I'm praying for his family. But George Floyd wasn't innocent. He died by natural causes. Not only was he on drugs, he was going to die anyway by the end of the night. But I guess Derek Chauvin made him die quicker. Okay? The thing is, he was going to die anyway. Same with these atheists. They're going to hell anyway. Okay? Unless you're sure that arguing with these people is going to win their soul, spare me. They know. You know when you're ready. When something, you know where to go and who to talk to. What name to call upon. When you start to feel like atheism isn't working for you. Other than that, it's not my problem. And I'll be right here waiting. But it's not my problem. All you apologists out there. That word ain't even in the Bible. Where's the apologist at in the Bible? Jesus defended himself while he was on a mission. He was there because he was on a mission. They came to him. Paul did just like any Republican would do today. He went down to the city county building. He went down to the marketplace. He went down to the places where the people were gathering, all the leaders and the politicians and the religions and all like that. He said, let me tell you about this unknown God that you're trying to figure out. Okay? That was it. All the rest of the time, they came to him. Tried to kill him. They tried to assassinate him. They was following him around, spying on him, stalking him. And they finally did kill him. Again, they came to him until they finally did kill him. So it wasn't Paul that was going out there starting trouble. It wasn't Jesus that was going out there starting trouble. And they wasn't trying to apologize for anything. Either one of them. But they were innocent. They said, Jesus said, if people don't want to hear the gospel, shake the dust off your hands and your feet. We're worried about those whosoever will, not whosoever won't. We ain't worried about people that don't care. And all the Calvinists said, bravo, bravo, that's what I'm talking about. But I'm not a Calvinist. But I agree with the Calvinists on the fact that it's not my problem. Okay? I'm working out my own salvation with fear and trembling. I ain't got time to worry about babysitting. My kids are grown. I ain't got time to worry about babysitting those that don't want to believe. I don't give an account. I don't owe anything to anybody. I don't owe an explanation to anybody. Now let me finish reading this. And what communion has light with darkness? What fellowship has righteousness with lawlessness? And what accord has Christ with Belial or the devil? Okay? Or what part has a believer with an unbeliever? But see, these apologists were always with them. The church is falling apart, but we're chasing these ignorant fools that I just sat there for an hour and listened to on a scholar fiction podcast. And they couldn't resist. They had to get to the point where they were cussing this preacher man out. Because he said some things that they didn't understand. They couldn't find a good argument with him. So they just cuss him out. F you, man. You get on my effing nerves. And F. They must have said the F word 100 times. If not more than that. If not 200. Just getting all potty mouth. And then you wonder why I would never ever, and my pastor would never ever let me invite an atheist to stand up in our church and say one single word. The minute we know you standing up in the back, we're going to escort you out. We don't want to hear all that filthiness. You can't have an argument. You're going to tell us to contend for the faith, but you can't have a decent argument without cussing a brother out. They don't talk about the atheists to get mad and walk off stage and then come back and try to turn it into comedy hour. They think they Martin Lawrence or something. They think they Ari Spears or something. They ain't even funny. They think they Bill Burr. They're going to come in and come back and try to change your attitude by, you got jokes now, but you ain't funny. And you're still going to hell. Laugh at that. I think it's funny. I think it's hilarious. I'm laughing. Okay? And what agreement has the temple of God with idols? What are idols? Idols are the things. Idols are the reason why you feel that you have to find a Christian somewhere. It ain't like he knocking on your door. Don't trip with me. He ain't knocking on your door every day. That's a Mormon. That's not Christians. Okay? He's not knocking on your door every day. We don't do that. Okay? Quit farting. Quit farting out of your mouth. Quit farting out of your brain. Okay? Ain't no Christian knocking on your door every day wanting to have a dialogue or an argument with you. We don't do that. Okay? What agreement has the temple of God with idols? For you are the temple of the living God, as God has said, I will dwell in them and walk among them. We believe this. He said us, not you. He didn't say he's walking among you. He said he's walking among us. I will walk among them. See, Mr. Schuyler don't understand that it'll say, like it says here, and God has said. Schuyler thought that the whole Old Testament was never written by anybody but God. And he was trying to think about it. He had to catch himself. Well, God said that, right? God said that. No, God didn't say everything in the Bible. The Old Testament was written by Moses, bro. I mean, where he was reading that was written by Moses. Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Genesis, Numbers, all them books, because he wanted to debunk slavery, I guess. Okay, let me tell you something. Do we put people in prison? Okay, yes, we do. You don't have a problem with that. Okay, do we go and take people captive? And do we control immigrants? Do we take even our family members to court and have them locked up for crimes that they've done in the family? Do we have lawyers? And we have lawyers, let me tell you something. It ain't no different, or it wasn't no different back then. The only difference back then is we didn't have a courthouse and a judge and police precincts all over the place like we do today. So how do you control people when you don't have that? Okay? These people coming across the border are slaves. And if they are not slaves, they should be. And I'm not saying they should be doing anything that's inhuman. I'm saying they need to be, until they become citizens, they need, like it says in the Bible, until they become citizens. They're slaves, whether it's in your document, it's in my document. They're slaves. They should be working for their room and board. You don't bring them over here and just give them free hotel service and free this and free that and free that. Meanwhile, you can't even take care of your own people of America, but you're bringing everybody else over here. Totally criminal and totally ridiculous. Okay? That's what they were doing in the Bible. Okay, that's what they were doing in the Bible. And even when they did black slavery, okay, they had to not only buy the slaves in order for them to capitalize, but they also had to treat the slaves a certain way for the sake of them being the seniority of the economy. It's just like when you go to work every day. When you get laid off, your boss is still getting paid. When you get laid off, there's people that have seniority over you. They get to stay in and work. Or you work harder, they get to work part-time because we're in the middle of a pandemic. Okay? And they still make just as much or more money than you. It's called seniority. Okay? But this is the question. Mr. Schuyler, are you a slave? Am I a slave? Do you hear any Christians talking about we need to bring slavery back? It's ridiculous that they freed the slaves. Everybody's happy that they freed the slaves. Why is that even being brought up? And who's this dumb Christian that felt that he should bring it up and try to embarrass himself in front of a bunch of idiot atheists? Slavery is over. Stop telling black people that they're still slaves. I'm not a slave. Are you a slave? If I'm a slave, that means you're a slave. But yeah, we are slaves. Every day I go to work, I'm a slave. At my job, you can't even go to HR and file a complaint. They'll look at you like, boy, if you don't go back down to your desk and finish your work, we don't want to hear this mess. We don't want to hear you complain about somebody disrespecting you. That's slavery to me. But we all go through it. We all go through it. Okay? Cops are slaves. You know, they don't want to deal with your black behind. They have to. They were told to. They don't even want to come into your little greasy neighborhood. When you talking about cops, they just trigger happy. They just want to shoot us all. They just want to kill the black man. They don't even want to be around you, let alone worry about killing you. They don't want your blood on their hands. It's not as crazy as you think, but it was crazy, and crazy is over. The only people that are crazy right now that you need to be arguing with and having a debate with is these freaking transgender people trying to brainwash our kids. These people that let these transgender people drag up as dress queens and go into our schools and groom our kids. You need to be sitting down having a lecture with these women out here that are complaining about abortion and they ain't even got a boyfriend. They ain't even having sex. You ain't got laid in how long? Why are you fighting for something that you don't even practice? You don't even practice abortion. And neither do you care about other women. They sure don't care about you. You got all these women. Some of y'all obese. Ain't been with a man since you've been a teenager. What are you protesting about? What are you fighting about? Go home. Pray to God give you a man. A fat one, so you ain't got to worry about, being depressed all the time because you think he's going to run off on you somewhere and cheat on you somewhere. Well, he's going to do that anyway. He can do that anyway if he wants to, but it's the thing. Quit making stuff your problem that ain't your problem. It's not your problem if Christians believe. Us believing ain't clogging up nobody's toilet. Us believing ain't molesting nobody's child. It ain't raising slaves. It ain't stopping traffic. It ain't holding back nobody from getting paid. Everybody is running things normal thanks to us praying to God every day. Everything's running smoothly except for this liberal nonsense that's going on flooding this globe right now. But other than that, everything's running normal on our end of the coin. Everything's running just fine. I don't have a problem. You got a problem? I ain't got a problem. What's the problem, scholar? I haven't bothered. Look, go to my channel. I haven't said nothing about any atheists for God knows how long. It's been ever since I moved to Pittsburgh. Well, no, I take that back. Last time I said something about an atheist was probably almost a year ago. Because God is correcting me on what is for me to be concerned about and what is not for me to be concerned about. I'm not concerned about people that don't believe. I'm concerned about those that are sitting on the fence. Just like when I go to work every day, people know what I believe. And when you say certain things, I have to let you know I'm COG, babe. I don't do certain things. Why talk to me about it? I'm the wrong person to talk to about that. You know what I mean? I don't really care about those things. I'm a Christian. I don't care about those things. Okay? Is that offensive for me to say that? Because I don't want to talk about certain things that don't apply to me? Okay? Now, you want to apply Jesus to you, I'm all ears. Bring it. But it is not my goal or my desire to be challenged. It's not my concern or my duty to be ready and prepared to be challenged. Go ahead, I'm prepared, but it's not my duty to be so. Go ahead and challenge me, but it's not going to change me. Okay? Just because you want an argument, that doesn't mean the Bible is lost. Just because you want an argument, that doesn't mean God is dead and Jesus is a fake. Doesn't mean all that. All it means is that you felt that somebody was trying to convince you when they wasn't, but you felt they was. You felt someone was trying to convince you. You got Jesus phobia. You're Jesus phobic. Okay, Christian phobic. Okay, whatever. Okay, you think that us disagreeing with abortion means we're going to go around shooting people that practice abortion. I tell you what, let me know these dummies. I'll go out and make sure they get arrested. I help the cops find them. Let me know that these dummies exist. But they don't, you know that. We support anything and everything Christian. We support those that are pro-life. We support those that are pro-conservative. We support those that are, lordship sexual, lordship, family oriented, lordship morals and family guidelines and sexual guidelines and how to raise teens and how not to raise teens, how to raise kids and how not to raise kids. Law and order in our country. We support all that. And it ain't because we support Donald Trump. We was supporting all that the minute we opened up this Bible. The minute we came to know the Lord and we opened up this Bible, we supported all that. Donald Trump is supporting conservatism. Conservatism isn't supporting Donald Trump as much as Donald Trump is supporting conservatism. He knows what we believe and he supports it. It's not us that are chasing him. It's him that are agreeing with us. So yes, it's not just about Donald Trump, it's about all of us. Because without conservatism and the Republican Party, there wouldn't be no Donald Trump. Not in this party anyway. But, in closing, what are idols? Idols are anything that you feel is worth fighting for that separates you from God. Whether it's your lack of belief in God, that's a religion in itself. whether it's your drinking habits, your sexual habits, your condoning the unrighteousness, the filthiness that other people do. Okay, you're not doing it. Why are you supporting other people doing it? That's not called human rights. That's not called humanism. That's called being an accessory to a crime. You're not even having sex, so you're not getting an abortion, so why support it? You ain't worried about getting pregnant, so why are you out there screaming? You're not going to get laid by screaming. Okay? Why are you out there on the street acting a fool? As much as I want to go out there and let my voice be heard, I don't go to protests. Because people are so ignorant and evil and stupid. If I go to the protest, I got to be like Riddlehouse or whatever his name was. I got to bring my gun with me. Because I know you're going to come after my little behind. That's why I don't go to protests. Not only are they stupid, but they're violent. But all you people are always out on the street, wanting to be street people. Then when street people start shooting, when street people start attacking you, oh, call 911. Oh, wait a minute, you said defund the police, didn't you? Where's your gun? You didn't bring no protection? Oh, that's right. You want to get rid of our rights to bear arms. That's right. That's right. You believe in that nonsense. Okay. Idol is anything that is holding you back from coming to the Lord, or anything that's diluting your relationship with God. That's an idol. Okay? Just like you can't be a Christian and be a fornicator. You can't be a Christian and smoke weed. You can't be a Christian, okay, and be an abortionist. You can't be a Christian and be gay. You can't be a Christian, okay, and go take your wife, okay, to strip clubs. Okay? You can't do that. You can't be a Christian. I'm not allowed to take my wife, if I had a wife, to strip clubs. Okay? And if she told me, honey, I'm going to strip club tonight, she was just unfaithful to me. I'll probably never sleep with her again if she tell me some crap like that. Okay? We don't do that. That is against not only the Christian community, but that is against Almighty, true, trusting, righteous, holy God. It's against all that. Okay? You can't have a tranny for a wife, okay, and call yourself Christian. Okay? If you don't have a desire for the opposite sex, it's okay. Don't have sex. Don't get married. Don't have sex. Don't get married. What's so hard about it? But that's another thing they argue about. You know, morality being subjective and all this kind of stuff. And it got to the point where the preacher man was winning. And they kept cutting him off. And he's like, stop cutting me off. Next thing you know, they cussing. They cussing this guy out. Okay? Because they got upset, you know, when he told them that you're not an atheist because you don't believe in God. You're an atheist. That's why you got me here. That's why I'm on this podcast. Outnumbered by 3 is 3 against 1. Okay? This is why you hate God and you claim you're an atheist, because you do believe in God. You just don't want me to believe in God. Because you figure if you can stop me from believing in God, you got some kind of political, you know, religious control over other people. And I agree with them. Either you believe in God or you don't. That's not an argument, that's a lifestyle. And that's a lifestyle that doesn't bother anybody. Your lifestyle, like I said, you might be the kind of person that has no respect for the fact that another man is married, since marriage is ordained by God. And you might walk up between him and his wife and grab his wife by the arms trying to walk off with her. Some people are disrespectful like that. I've seen them in action. They got their butt kicked, but I've seen them in action. They're sick in the head like that. Okay? You believe there's no God. What does that mean? You don't believe there's any God. But then don't tell me that you don't believe in God, and then when things that are common sense, like homosexuality, a 2-year-old knows that that's wrong. If you got common sense, you know that there's no such thing as LGBTQ scientifically. You know there's no such thing as LGBTQ humanly. Maybe that's some sick garbage. Every single letter of that alphabet is sick. And a sick idea. Okay? But, I don't want to be a Christian because, they hate homosexuals. We don't hate homosexuals. We hate homosexuality. We don't hate the homosexual. We pray and reach out our hand. I'm not trying to force you to do anything, bro. I ain't trying to snatch you. I'm not trying to touch you the way you don't want to be touched. I'm reaching out my hand to you. You want Jesus? Let me pray for you. Let me tell you. Let me walk you through this. I ain't trying to touch nobody. Okay? We touch people that are in the service, that come up to the altar. We hug them. We put our hands on their back, their shoulder. We lay our hands on their head. Because why? When they walk up to the altar, they give us permission to do that. Don't want us touching you, stay in your seat. This is the altar. We pray for people up here. Okay? But if you're an atheist, okay, stay in your seat. In fact, if you don't care about God, sit in the back. If God is reaching out to you, he'll reach you all the way back there. Okay? But the Bible says that the Bible says if our faith is unveiled to anyone, it's unveiled to those that are perishing, those that are going to hell. Okay? I'm going to say it one more time. You keep trying to, we've been on this debate and we've been trying to get under each other's skin about this issue all this time. Listen, it is not your problem that I'm a Christian. That should not bother you at all. I don't hit on your wife because I'm a Christian. I don't touch your children because I'm a Christian. Your basement ain't flooded, your toilet ain't stopped up. Okay? I ain't parked my car in front of your house and block your house or block your fence because I'm a Christian. You doing your thing, I'm doing mine. We're not bothering each other. But yet, this is your way of connecting by creating these arguments and trying to get up under our skin and claim that we're practicing slavery. In what era? Name me slaves. Name them. Who are they? Now I know some people that I'd like to take as slaves. Okay? Since Joe Biden loves to ride bicycles so much, okay, he can go get my food every afternoon because he sure ain't going to do nothing as a president. Okay? And that little fine thing that he got as a press secretary, she can do my dishes because I'm tired of doing them. Okay? And AOC, well, just lock her in a cage. God. So she like handcuffs, fake handcuffs so much. We're going to put some real handcuffs on her and lock her in a cage. And send all her cousins, Lord help me, send all her cousins back across the border. Okay? And then we're going to reel them in one by one the way it's supposed to be done. But I am D-Roy Cruz. I am your life applications officer. It's not your problem. It's not my problem. Quit making it a problem. You being an atheist ain't none of my business. Except for when you want to bring it up in my presence, in my face, okay? Except for when you throw it at me like these gay people always throwing something at me. Transgender people always throwing something at us. You ain't no different. Because why? You know that you are a sinner. And you know that regardless of how much you claim to debunk, that doesn't take the fear away. That doesn't make you satisfied. You can mock and tease, and like Scholar was doing, trying to go in there and find a verse for a verse. Look, and you say the Bible should be burned. The Bible is a fake book. But he doing more preaching than the preacher's doing. Okay? Look. It's not your problem. Why are we talking about slavery when there ain't no slaves? Okay? And you going to tell me abolishing slavery, the Christians had nothing to do with that? You better learn your history. You better learn your history. I am D-Roy Cruz. I am your life applications officer. Thanks for watching. Talk to you again with more. It probably won't be atheism, though, because I'm tired of talking about it. God bless you.